Good afternoon, everybody. My name is TJ Muehleman with another installment of our hit series, Data is Awesome, but Managing Data Still Sucks. Way back when, in our very first edition, we're now on, I think, our 10th, we talked a little bit about standard data and what it meant and why we were creating this new series to talk about standardization of data. Well, today I'm happy to report we've made the move to a new data platform called, wait for it, Standard Data. Pretty cool. When we started doing data collection, data management, data analysis back in 2016, the big problem we were solving was data security. Data was collected, but it wasn't secured. It wasn't easy to access. It wasn't audited. There was no history of what happened to that data. So we created the platform called Secure Data Kit, which is a play on an open platform called Open Data Kit that didn't solve for any of the problems. And that particular platform served us very well for 5 years. However, what we knew from the very beginning was that what we were really good at and what people really needed from us wasn't so much around securing data, because we all know that that's become kind of a default or de facto part of data platforms, unless you're a Fortune 500 company, but whatever. What people really needed, which is much harder to do, is standardizing data. Basically taking data, storing it in a place that makes it easy to analyze, makes it easy to export, makes it easy to mash up with other data sources so that you can find interesting problems, trends, and things like that. And in the last 9 installments of this series, we've really kind of covered some of the different ways people use standard data. So with all that being said, what I'd like to do now is give you a brief tour of standard data. Meet me over here. So welcome to the new Standard Data. We have a new logo, new colors. You can still get to it via securedatakit.com. But the essence of Standard Data is that there's 3 main components to what we do. We provide tools to collect data. So you're out in the field, you're in remote parts of the world, or you're in a kitchen in the middle of Atlanta, Georgia, and you want to collect some data. You want to do an inventory. You want to do it on a smartphone so that it's easy to carry around in your pocket and collect that data. And you want to be able to kind of define whatever it is that you're collecting. You may have today a survey or a form that has 5 questions, and tomorrow you might have one that has 500, which we have clients with 500 questions, and it ain't easy. That's the collect component of what we do. We make it easy to collect all kinds of data with very complex skip logic, groups, repeaters, that sort of thing. You want to manage that data. You want to have scripts that sort of transform the data, look for outliers, so on and so forth, manage. And last but not least, analyze allows you to dashboard that data, do trend analysis. Standard data allows you to do all 3 of those in one easy-to-use platform. So now we're going to show you a little bit about what a project looks like and how we've oriented the system. Okay, welcome to COVID mapping project inside of Standard Data. So this is the data warehouse or the data project where all of the data flows into standard data. That data is transformed overnight and is turned into a dashboard or a series of dashboards, actually dozens of dashboards at this point. And so what I want to do, I just want to show you around a little bit, kind of like kick the tires, brand new house, where are things? When you log into a project in standard data, the first thing you can see, it's customizable, is a dashboard. In a lot of cases, clients will use this area to kind of show a status of what a project's undergoing. So for example, in the COVID mapping project, we are looking at Georgia's numbers, which flow into our system every night around 9 p.m. Eastern time. And you can see that we are reporting around 1.4 million cases, 10 million tests, unfortunately 23,000 deaths in the state of Georgia, and some charts to kind of visualize that exact data. So this dashboard is sort of the first thing you see and the first thing that grabs your attention to help you understand the status of your project or whatever might be happening around the data collection activities you're undertaking. If you scroll down, you can see the raw data. So what happens in a system like ours is data flows into it. Either you're using our handset, our data collection tools to collect the data, or using our integration capabilities to pull that data in from another source. And all of these different collect modules you can see have different sources. For example, our historical data comes from Johns Hopkins. Our testing stats is stuff that we generate ourselves through standard data. We have the Census Bureau for population data. and the Georgia Department of Public Health for vaccinations by county. So we have these different data sources. So all of this data is flowing into one place. So, and what we're doing is we're transforming it as it flows into the system to standardize the data. In database speak, this would be called an ETL: extract, transform, and load. You extract it from one source, you transform it, you tweak it, and then you load it into the system. And by doing all of this, this allows us to, again, line data up and show trends and show events as they might be happening in one dashboard or in one place, which is what we're doing. If you scroll down, the next section in standard data is the analyze section. So this is where you might see dashboards or automated reports. And we support a number of analytical platforms. So we support Power BI, Tableau, Metabase, and R, as well as just raw SQL if you wanted to write a SQL statement. This allows you to get at your data and turn it into something meaningful. Not just the raw data that you see up here, but an amalgamation of multiple data sets or transformations so that you can actually see something without having to look at the raw data. And scrolling down, you see scripts. So scripts allow us to transform the data into something more meaningful. So for example, we have a variety of scripts that pull data from other sources, that calculate 7-day averages, that calculate daily case changes, that sort of thing. And these scripts, the cool thing is this works in what we call a serverless environment. So you're not beholden to what scripting language we use. If you wanted to write your scripts in Python, you could. If you want to write them in Ruby, go for it. You want to write them in Perl, I don't know why you would, but if you wanted to, you could. And so this allows maximum flexibility. And in fact, we use different scripting languages depending on the need of the script. And then down here, documents. So you can upload documents to the project. That could be PDF, it could be Word, it could be a zip file. This allows you just to have a generic document repository. And then down here, you have the users. So we have multiple user profiles in our system. So people can download data, they can view data, they can upload data, they can receive reports, they can view sensitive information like PII. And so this allows us to customize who can see what and what they can do with the data. And then down here, you have a variety of other kind of configuration options. So you can view user access logs. So we do store HIPAA-like data in our system. So it's important to know who accessed what data and when and from what IP address. So we capture all of that. API, we have a very robust set of APIs in our system, which we'll do in a future version of all the different things you can do. You can import submissions, and then we have our native analytical tool is Metabase. And so we have default Metabase configurations, which we'll do in another video in the future. So this is the new standard data. If you need a data hub, a data warehouse, we are the solution for you. Give us a call.